Yo YouTube! This is my video for Tuesday the 3rd of February, and it's going to be one of a very few videos I do in February. Yesterday I had a blood test in the morning, and then I was just too tired to do anything else. Basically had a nap all afternoon. Today I'm on the road, but I've been looking for jobs all morning, and it wasn't until 11:30 that I finally got myself a job. And that job is one I've just picked up from Bourne. It's going to Milton Keynes. It's a small van job. It's going 68 loaded miles, and I got £75 for it. 75. I'll be in Milton Keynes at around about 1:30, 1:40, and then I'll be looking for a second job, and probably a last of the day, somewhere up, heading northwards or even maybe eastwards, no, westwards from Milton Keynes. Probably my best bet is to look for something local, just try and get a couple of other small jobs in, and then go home. So, yeah, as I said, February's going to be a bit of a strange month. Looking back on January, a couple of things to report on. I have now been paid all of my invoices for January. The last ones came through yesterday, on the 2nd of February. And I'm finding now that some people are paying, rather than the end of the month, they're paying sort of the following Monday, sort of the 2nd or 3rd of the month. If that is the case, I can cope with that, but you're never quite sure whether they're all going to pay. But this time, it's only about 3 or 4 that were late. Well, late in, in inverted commas. So far, since November onwards, I've not had anybody that's been significantly late. I had to remind 2 people in mid-January with emails, and then one immediately replied and got me the money, and the other one did it at the end of the month. So I'm pretty good at the moment of not having shippers not pay me. At the moment, I've paid for my van repair, which was last Monday, and I've got my accounts sort of all balanced up now, and so I've got enough money to get me through to the end of February, no problems. And I've got enough money in the savings account to get me through to the end of March without too much worry. But whatever I do in February will be paid at the end of March. And so if I don't do very much, April's going to be quite tight. I will be okay, I'll get through. The main thing that I'm finding is that because I'm not doing very much work, I'm not spending very much on fuel, so there is a bit of a saving on my expenses going out because of that. But I've got a couple of months worth of money set aside, so I do need to start doing work, if not in February, at least in March. I could probably cope with not doing very much in February and doing some more work from March onwards. So that's what I'm kind of relying on, is the operation goes ahead, I can get back to pretty much full fitness with my mobility, and then start earning proper money. For those who are not up to date, my operation on my back is going to happen next Thursday, unless it gets changed again. I do hope it doesn't get changed again. I won't be quite so sanguine if it gets changed for a 3rd time. I'm really needing it to happen now. And if it does happen on Thursday next week, the 12th, then it will have been quite good timing in terms of the CX work, because the CX work has been really poor all so far in my area, and I think pretty much throughout the country. It's not been great, so it's not like I'm missing out an awful lot at the moment by having this time off. So I am hopeful that by the time I'm fully recovered, back on the road, things has picked up a bit more. Looking back at last month, in total I worked for 3 full days and got 3 full days work money, and then I worked for 2 Saturdays, doing one job on each Saturday, and those 2 added up to another full day of pay. So effectively, of my 10 days in January that I was aiming for, I managed to achieve 4 days income worth in January. Now I've set aside again 10 days in February. That's before I knew about the house maybe going through. So I won't achieve 10 days, but if I can get anything like 5 would be amazing. And then I'm not too far behind in my first 2 months. And then come March, maybe I can make up a few of those days. Then you do that each month. So I should be okay. So I'm not worried about the number of days that I'm working. Just try and get in as many days as I can, as possible, here and there. It does make my video production schedule rather sporadic. But I'm still here, I'm still doing stuff, and hopefully the next 2 weeks we will have moved house and I'll have my operation. So things will be a lot more settled. The house I'm living at the moment is getting quite full of boxes. Everything's not quite in the right place. So it'll be quite good to get it all moved and unpacked again. We haven't yet got a final date, but it has to be at some point in February. We're pretty much there. We've just got to agree when everyone else wants to move, wants to complete. I'm going to get on with my job and hopefully find something coming back to make my day a full earning day. I hope you're doing well. I'll speak to you later. Cheers. Hello there YouTube, just an update. I've been sitting here for the best part of an hour now. It's nearly 2:30. I got here about 45 minutes ago maybe. I am bidding on jobs, but I'm not going very, very low. I'll put a map up to show what the competition is like. There's quite a few drivers around. There isn't that many jobs, bearing in mind where I am. There's been a lot more in the past of jobs coming up. It's probably in the area that I'm looking at, sort of up to half an hour, up to perhaps maximum 45 minutes away. It's probably only about a couple of jobs every 5 minutes. So maybe a total of 20 or so in an hour that I could bid on. So it's not teeming with work. Also, I am really quite tired. I went to bed early last night and got a reasonable amount of sleep. But I'm tired all the time nowadays, particularly in the afternoons. So I'm kind of a bit weary about the whole thing at the moment. I am going to persevere a bit longer here. But there's not really anywhere else I can go that's better, really, for jobs. I mean, I go up to perhaps Northampton, but that's already within my scope. It's already within half an hour. If I had to go further, I might go towards Corby. But I've done that in the past, and it's never in the afternoon. There's never jobs taking me close to home. So I might end up just going straight home, but I can't just do that from here. £75 is not enough money. I want to earn at least one more job's worth. So I'm going to stick out for as long as I can take it for, and hopefully get one little job back towards home and then call it quits. But it's so tiring and there's a lot going on. Right, anyway, I'll let you know if anything happens. I hope I get a job. I don't want to go home empty. That'd be ridiculous. Cheers. Okay, it's 3:30. I'm too tired now. I'm going to start heading home, and then I'll be looking for jobs on the way. Just anything could be better than nothing. £50 is sort of my minimum price. I'm going to head via Northampton, Wellingborough, Peterborough. So a slightly diverted way back. The most direct route back is Bedford to Peterborough. But there are more opportunities for work out of Northampton than Wellingborough. So I'll take that route. It gives me about half an hour of searching for work while I'm driving to Northampton, whereby I might get something on the way there. And by that point I'll probably end up with nothing and get us straight home. So by the time I get home, it'll be 5:30ish. It's about 2 hours drive. I am really tired, and I'm just wondering at this point in time, do I really need to go really cheap now to get a full day's work? and I don't want to do that. I'm not quite ready to do that because it doesn't fit in with my skill set really. But everything I bid on today I wasn't getting. I'll do a summary of what I bid on in my next video. But obviously it's just not working out at the moment. And if I got a job, £50 job, it's not going to be still not be a great day. So not only did I have a late start because of lack of work, I had no second job. So it is particularly tough, I would say. And I probably need to just take whatever scraps I can during February at least, and just try and sort of eke together as much money as I can over the course of the month. So maybe I do need to go cheaper. It's hard to know for sure, because you go cheaper, then a job comes up that's perfect for you. It's a long job, so sacrificing pricing too soon is not something I feel comfortable with. I'm getting to the point now where I might need to seriously consider doing that, at least during February. But you know, tomorrow might be another day. Well, tomorrow I'm not working. Friday afternoon I'll be next on the job. I've got an appointment in the morning, so I might even have a full day on Friday. So I'll see you then. But I will look out for jobs on the way back and hopefully get something. Right, cheers. Alright, I'm going to just finish off this video by telling you some of the bids that I put on when I was in Milton Keynes. Just to give some idea about how hard I did try and what my pricing strategy was like. I think in hindsight, all of these bids were too high, obviously, but I want to just sort of share with you what I was trying to do. Going in reverse order, my last job I bid on is Milton Keynes to Salford. That was posted at £3.42 for a small van, 158 miles loaded. At that moment in time I was around about 10 minutes from the pickup. I bid £150. The one before that was posted from Northampton to Colville, £3.31 it was posted. It was for a small van going 48.5 miles. At that point I was half an hour away from Northampton, and I bid £50, and in the end that job was cancelled. The next one was posted at £3.26. It was a small van job from Leighton Buzzard back to Milton Keynes. It was a 13-mile job loaded, as I said, for a small van. I bid £50, and at that point I was about half an hour away from Leighton Buzzard. It wasn't ideal for me because we ended up back where I started, but it would have been something. That job got sold. The next one that I went for was from Huntingdon to Peterborough. I was an hour from Huntingdon. This was posted at 17 minutes past 3. It was a medium wheelbase van job. I bid £50 for a 19-mile loaded job. I got sold. At 3 minutes past 3, there was a job going from Milton Keynes to Leicester and then to Lincoln. A total of 116 miles loaded, 116, for a small van job. I thought I was going to get this one. I bid £115 originally, then I changed it to £110. My thinking was, if it's £10 for the intermediary stop, so really what I was bidding there was £100 for the trip, for 116 miles. So I thought it was a fair price, and I was again about 15 minutes away from the pickup at this point. So a minute before then, at 2 minutes past 3, I bid on a job going from Bedford to Hull. It's a small van job, 142 miles loaded. I thought I might get this one. I bid 150, and I was about 20 minutes away from Bedford at the point that this came on. I thought that getting to Hull at that time of day would have been not very appealing, So I thought there was a very good chance I'd get that. There was a job at, again, 2 minutes past 3 it was posted, for a small van going from Toaster to Milton Keynes, 19.5 miles loaded. Again, I was ended up pretty much back where I started. I was about 30 minutes from Toaster, and so I bid £50, 50. Again, obviously that was too much. That got sold. At 1 minute to 3, there was a Northampton to Northampton job just within the city. It's a medium wheelbase van job, going just over 3 miles loaded. I was half an hour away from the pickup. I bid £50, 50, and obviously didn't get that one. It was sold. At 3 minutes to 3, there's a Northampton to Buxton job for a small van. I was about half an hour away from the pickup. I bid £110 for 113 miles loaded. That got sold. At 2:45, there's a job from Bedford to Milton Keynes. Again, it wasn't very long. I was about 20 minutes away from the pickup. I've ended up back where I was, but I put a bid on. It was 20 miles loaded for a small van. I bid £50, 50. That got sold. The next one was a job from Dunstable to Runcorn. I thought I had a good chance with this one. It's 163 miles loaded for a medium wheelbase van. I bid 165, and I was about 25 minutes away from the pickup. That got sold. At 8 minutes past 2, put a bid on Northampton to Derby, small van job, 74 miles loaded. I bid £75, and I was about half an hour away from the pickup at that point. At 7 minutes past 2, there's a Milton Keynes to Wetherby. I was about 15 minutes away from the pickup. It was a long wheelbase van job. It was basically a single pallet, I think. 152 miles loaded, 152. And I put a bid of 150, which I thought was a very fair price, and I didn't get that job. So a long wheelbase van job, 15 minutes away, just less than £1 a mile, didn't get it. Okay, coming towards the end now. So this at 1:39, a job was posted from Newport Pagnell to Abingdon in Oxfordshire, 61 miles loaded for a short wheelbase van. I put a bid on £75. This was right at the start when I was first looking for work, and that job got sold. I would have been about 20 minutes away from Newport Pagnell at the time, maybe a bit less. And then the last one I can tell you about was from Northampton to Wellingborough. First one I bid on after I finished my job. It was posted at 1:37. There's a pickup stop in Northampton, so 2 stops in Northampton, then Wellingborough, all very close together. Long wheelbase van job for 19 miles loaded with 1 stop. I bid £60, and I didn't get that. So that one got sold in the end. So if I count those up, when I left my first job, that's 15 jobs that I bid on over the course of 2 hours, between 1:37 and 3:42. So 15 jobs that I bid on that were all going, it was a mixture of local ones, either moving from Milton Keynes and going about 20 miles or coming back to Milton Keynes, or going to something like Salford, going to Warrington, Runcorn, Hull. So quite a mixture there. Nothing. All the jobs that were heading to Bristol I ignored, or to the south coast I ignored, and to London I ignored. So there were other jobs that I didn't bid on, but I bid on 15 jobs in that 2-hour period and didn't get any of them. And I was quite close to all the Milton Keynes ones, within 10-15 minutes of those. So I don't know whether, I think it's an indication about how tough it is to win jobs at the moment. I think pricing, you have to be really flexible, and I need to perhaps go lower quicker, or just accept that I'm going to have to wait longer for a job. Today it didn't work out. I'm on my way home. I'll be home pretty soon. So yeah, that's how today has panned out. So based on an average fuel price of 15.08 pence per mile, today I have driven a total of 156 miles, 156. I have spent 6 hours in total working today by the time I get home. Although to be fair, the actual job I did was 2 hours long, and the rest of the 4 hours is just me hanging around and driving home. I've earned a stupid amount of money of £75 gross, 75. Quite a silly amount to be earning on a day out. My fuel costs were £23 and 52 pence, 52. So I'll round that up to £24, which means that my net earnings for today comes to a very, very silly £51. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I've spent most of the day trying to find a job, and that's how I've earned 50 quid. That is hopefully not going to happen very often, but it happened today. It is. I really would say it's tough on the CX. I think it's tough because the economy is so poor, and it's not going to get better very quickly. So I really wouldn't want to be encouraging people to start doing this job, a self-employed courier, unless you've got your own customers. But even then, I'm not sure I would encourage anyone to start now. Unless you've got a really clear plan that's going to work for you. If you've got a vague plan and you don't quite know what you're doing, maybe it's not the time to start. I think if I was starting now, when I started this just under 3 years ago, and if I started now, I would really be struggling. It's changed an awful amount in those 3 years. So I don't like to make generalisations, but you can see from my own figures, it's gone down the last 3 or 4 months. My daily amount's gone down. So I'll leave that with you. I hope that you are all being successful. However you choose to find that word for yourselves. Farewell, friends.